All right, guys, I'm back. Had COVID. Got it literally up here at the top. I've been out for 2 weeks. Let's get back into it. Here we have basically what happened was we were held by the weekly EMA 13 and 21. There's a lot of resistances up here in general. Then all the news, clearly everything caused this cascade. Let me turn off stack 113. We have here a potential, mind you, accumulation, large scale, right? Preliminary support, selling climax, automatic rally, and potentially a secondary test. Secondary test higher than the SC. It's very bullish. If it was underneath, it's called a sign of weakness. It's bearish. It's not a good thing. With accumulations, you always want to see higher. Now, we don't know what's going to happen at this point, right? If this is an accumulation, we could see something along the lines of this, goes up here, exits the trading range, which is this large dashed area. Then it should come back in and accept entering within, consolidate underneath. If it breaks past this point, I would say 42,000, and then consolidates here, it's going to retest the bottom. And in fact, if it is an accumulation, it'll probably create a lower low somewhere around here. So it's not the greatest circumstance, but if it is an accumulation, at least it shows promise to the future. Anyways, we don't know what's going to happen, right? It could break above, bounce off here. Maybe if it consolidates above this AR, it's a good sign, but it needs to break to the next leg up and start consolidating. That's the sign that this would be like maybe a W pattern, and it goes up, and which is very bullish, mind you, because you want to see the higher low in the W pattern as well, and then the neckline would be right here, this dashed line. So once this is broken, we should see a massive pump up. If this is broken and there's no massive pump up and it just kind of like chills around here, probably going to go down. Anyways, this doesn't look like a redistribution. I don't see any pattern, so we should be good from here on. Even if this plays out as an accumulation, you're going to see something right like this. It still marks the bottom. A lot of interest right now. It's looking very good. Let's go to the total market cap, right? Here we're at 1.71. We have a large resistance around 2. A lot of weekly EMAs there. VTI, stock market ETF, made a lower low now. This is not great, right? Not good. From the top, we went down about 15%. About 15%. Usually, historically, when this happens, liquidity is pumped into the system when it drops this much. The Fed always goes back on the tightening and everything, and so we're in that area right now. We should be seeing it. Maybe we even see another little spike down, right? And then it goes up. I think this should mark the bottom, at least historically with the Fed. That's what happens. Let's go back to the US dollar currency index. There's a little structure forming here, looking like a distribution, which is bullish for crypto. This could be a UTAD, up thrust after distribution, right? So what should happen is it should kind of linger around this range, maybe starts grinding down, and then we should see the collapse with the price target here at 93. That would be bullish for Bitcoin, not so much for the world markets, but Bitcoin. Here we got the BTC dominance, right? We broke down this descending wedge. You can actually see it connected up here at the tip, right? It broke out. It didn't really do much. We'll see what happens there. BTC longs. Just recently, we had a spike of longs right here. 17%. That's from like last week, which is huge for longs because they greatly outnumber the shorts on Bitfinex. And we had the shorts also spike like 70%, starting from that collapse from this point. The collapse caused a large, and most of them have been squeezed. There's still some left to go. Let's check the fear and greed. We're at basically the lows, right? 25 or something after we climbed up to like 51. Funding rates, basically neutral, right? Let's, neutral or negative, which is good. That's what you want to see. Let's check what happened here. At the lowest low, The price was 34,000, and we can see that Binance was heavily shorting, not heavily, but negative 0.02. It's pretty large. Bybit as well, and OKEX. So these are a lot of these shorts were liquidated as well. Total liquidations. Yesterday we had a large red candle, as you can tell. The last one was of equivalent size was in December, right? When we started this decline, the massive dump. So a lot of shorts got liquidated, relatively, of course. Here we got the all the futures open interest, and we're nearing lows. It's very good. Let's yeah, so there's only about 15, 16 billion. Mind you, at the peak we had almost 30. So even Binance, all almost to the bottom of this dump. It took it a long time to get down here, but it looks pretty bullish. Okay, guys, in general, what am I doing here? I'm going to start a new trading challenge, start with 0.1 BTC. We're going to try to make it into 1 BTC, and then perhaps more as well. Right, so I'm going to be showing you all of those trade setups and everything. For now, there's really nothing, at least on this time frame. There could be something forming here. I had a trade that I took. I was sort of starting here. I think I got in about here. I exited once it got near the top. It was actually somewhere around here, right? So that was my first trade in this 1.1 to 1 challenge, and I got a few percentages. It was maybe 10%. It was a nice trade. I don't know what's gonna happen yet. Right now this is still developing, so I don't know what this could be. I'm keeping an eye on it, so we'll be back to a regular upload schedule as well, and we'll be using Wyckoff to try to predict these upcoming moves. Stay safe, guys. We'll talk later.